back to another episode of Ball Don't Lie. I'm your host, Jacob Fraser, with my co-host, Cam Connolly. And we've been off for a couple weeks here, but there's lots to talk about. We're just going to do a quick little update for the week, and then we'll be coming back with some extra content to make up for the stuff we've lost. But just to kick things off, Bam Adebayo. I'm wearing the Miami Heat Bam Adebayo Miami Vice jersey. It's my favorite jersey in my collection, but 83 points. I think I texted you like Bam Adebayo drops 83 on a Tuesday. Such a random thing to happen.
Yeah, I was looking in the fantasy app because it's like fantasy playoffs. I didn't make the fantasy playoffs, but I'm still tuned in just to get people riled up. And I see Bam Adebayo at 30, or actually my buddy texted me, Bam Adebayo 31 points in the first quarter. I go, Bam Adebayo at 31 fantasy points in the first quarter. Like, okay, like that's a good performance, but it's nothing we haven't seen this year. So I go look at the fantasy app just to make sure. No, Bam Adebayo 31 points in the first quarter. I'm like, what? I'm like, he's on pace for 124 points right now. I'm like, all right, like he'll taper off. Like he'll probably have like 50. Like, I mean, this is the easiest 50 ball of his life. So I turned it off. I don't really pay attention. I do check to see if we get the game in Canada. We don't get it in Canada. So I'm like,
I know. I was
whatever.
choked.
I'm like, whatever. Like, I don't really care. And then I check right at halftime, and he had like, I think he was around 60, or he's at 50, mid 50s, low 60s. I'm like,
He had 62 at the end of the third, I think.
Okay, yeah, he was pretty high though. He was maybe 47. I can't remember exactly, but I'm like, I'm gonna pay attention now. I'm like, I'm not gonna pull up an illegal stream yet, but I'm gonna pay attention. And then, boom, I look, he's at 55. I'm like, all right, I'm turning this game on. I'm watching a show with my girlfriend. I'm like, sorry, like I gotta watch this. And I pull up an illegal stream, and I watch Bam Adebayo shoot about 25 free throws.
Yeah.
But to be fair, and I'm against like unethical like free throws. I'm not a fan of the way Joel Embiid plays. He was getting fouled every time.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen the clips. Like I didn't watch the game because, like you said, we didn't get it here, but I watched all the highlights and like watched every bucket on YouTube and stuff. Like he was getting fouled.
Like I was watching, he would get the ball, he'd beat a guy, and it's like they didn't want him to score. They wanted him to earn it, and they would hack him super hard.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that was a foul. Then the next time he'd get the ball, and they would hack him right on the inbound. I'm like, okay, well, that was a foul. He's shooting free throws because they're in the bonus. And then you go online, unethical. This is the most unethical 83. He should have subbed out when he had 81s. So he doesn't pass Kobe Bryant. All right, first of all, I don't know why people are so afraid to pass Kobe Bryant, and they're so afraid to break Kobe Bryant's records. This is going to be controversial, but I don't really care. Kobe Bryant, no one remembers how they felt about Kobe Bryant before he passed away. And rest in peace to Kobe Bryant. He's a legend in the game. But people pretend like he's this super loved guy that everyone loved and everyone adored. That is not how Kobe Bryant was remembered before he passed away. People did not like Kobe Bryant, and it's like our brains got washed when he passed away, and it was tragic. I was in this very room when I found out that he passed away, and I was upset about it. But let's not pretend like Kobe Bryant is the super celebrated person before he passed away. He shouldn't have passed him. Yeah, he should have.
Yeah, I don't get that. Like it's fun to see records broken, and obviously he didn't break the questionable Wilt Chamberlain record. I had a few buddies of mine reminded me that it was never caught on film, so it didn't happen apparently. But it's
Actually, I
just
saw I saw something about that, and it said you want a bunch of white, or it said you expect a bunch of white guys to lie about a black guy breaking 100 points in the Jim Crow era. And I was like, you know what? That's a good point. I don't know if they would lie about that.
that actually might be the best point I've heard someone make. I've never heard that before, but
I never
that's
heard it
very
before
true.
either. I was like, you know what? That's actually a good point. I don't know. I think I might have to. I think I might think that actually happened now.
Yeah. If anything, they try to bury it.
I know. That's what I was thinking. Well, maybe that's why the film's gone.
Yeah, that's true. Um, but I wanted to ask you what did you think about the way the Heat were playing near the end of that game? Because we saw Keyshawn Johnson or whatever bricking a free throw on purpose, chucking it at the rim to try and get the rebound. They were fouling the Wizards up 30 or whatever the lead was. Like kind of trying to force feed Bam at the end of that game. Like, what did you think of that display of basketball?
Okay, and this is proof that no one watched the game. Because the reason they did that is because the Wizards started intentionally fouling anyone who wasn't Bam. That's why they started intentionally fouling. Although the Heat might have done it first, but still, they were intentionally fouling anyone who wasn't Bam to send anyone else to the line so that Bam couldn't score the points. I'm thinking, just play better defense. Yeah, he's frying, but he is dead tired. He was not playing defense. I don't know if you watched that game back. He is standing in the key. I thought he was going to get a defensive 5 seconds call. You would have thought they're in a 2-3 zone the way he was guarding. They're up by so much he didn't care. He was saving his energy for offense. But the Wizards were doing the exact same thing. They were intentionally fouling anyone who wasn't Bam so that Bam couldn't get the ball. And then that's when it turned into some kind of shit show, for lack of a better term. There was missed free throw. Oh, I'm going to intentionally foul. No, I'm intentionally foul. No, I'm going to intentionally foul. And then a 35-point blowout. But it was, I don't know. I think that it was ethical only because the Wizards were trying to do anything they could, including intentionally fouling, to not let Bam score. He was being triple teamed, by the way. It looked like LaMelo Ball in 2016 when he had the 92 points.
Yeah, I remember that game. That was an unethical 92 points. He was standing at the other team's 3-point line the entire game, cherry picking.
All right. Don't get me started on this one.
Have
I
you
was the
not
kid.
watched
I was the
film
kid
of
in the
that?
comments section defending LaMelo Ball's 92-point game. All right,
He
I'll
was
die
cherry
on that
picking the
hill.
whole game.
He was not cherry picking. He was making tough
He
buckets,
was.
bro.
Sure, he's making tough buckets, but he's cherry picking.
Oh my goodness, bro. He had 92 points. All right, you want to know who had an ethical? I think it was 94. Is Diego Mafia. When you would have been in grade 12, I think it was 94 points. I think he hit like 18
I thought it was
that
92,
game.
but yeah, it might have been 94. I can't remember.
I don't know. I haven't mixed up my head, but he had, I think it was 2 more than LaMelo. But I don't know. That was an ethical 94/92. 18 made threes. Like, that's crazy. I don't remember who they were playing, though. But there's a lot of good players in that class, too. I remember that there's one guy who hit like 18 threes in a game as well.
Was Miguel Tomley in that class? No,
He
he's
would
a
have been
year
the year
older.
before.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, is there anything else you wanted to get to about this Bam performance?
Oh, yeah. It said, I saw another thing, and it was on TikTok, and it was like, take in that next year when we're playing my career and we score 84 points, no longer is it going to be, oh, he just passed the late, great, legendary Kobe Bryant. It's going to say he just passed Bam Adebayo for the second highest scoring game in NBA history.
I
That
know,
one made me
that's
laugh.
crazy. That's crazy. Do you remember, I think it was a couple weeks ago now, maybe 3, when Wemby had 25 points in the first quarter? Can't remember who the Spurs were playing.
I
But he
do
had
remember that,
25
but
in
I
the
don't
first
remember who they
quarter.
were playing either.
Yeah, that was the game where I was like, okay, we should be on Kobe watch here because he could pass the 81-point mark. And then he started dishing off to teammates and like not really attacking as much. Because that's the kind of guy Wemby is. But Bam's just selfish like that.
Bro, like, the thing is that all these people complaining about this and everything, bro, everyone, like, pretty much goes through the motions against the Wizard, all the star players. And then when a guy doesn't go through the motions, the thing that we've been asking players not to do, oh, you did it against the Wizards. Why were you trying against the Wizards? Bunch of crab in the buckets in the media. All the real hoopers, like the real NBA players, like, yo, this is awesome. And then all the crab in the buckets are like, oh, this is unethical. Yo, just appreciate that Kobe Bryant is no longer the second most leading scorer of all time. And appreciate that we are not counting third place. We didn't count third place before. It goes Wilt, Bam, period.
Yeah, who was third? I think third was Wilt, wasn't it?
Yeah. But
Yeah,
we
it
didn't.
was
I didn't know
70.
that until that day.
I think it was
74,
73,
74
74,
or
something like that. Yeah.
It goes
Yeah.
Wilt, Bam, and I can't remember who the third guy is anymore.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. Like, it's fun to see records broken, like I said. So I don't have any issue with it at all. My camera cutting out a little bit here.
Yeah.
Weird. Anyway, we can move on here. Let's talk about just the NBA standings, and more specifically, you wanted to get into the Charlotte Hornets here because they've worked their way up into a play-in spot, and they're 8-2 in their last 10. It's been a great run for Charlotte.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome to see. I love LaMelo Ball, as I was already saying before. I'm hoping I'm not giving them the kiss of death by talking about them on the podcast. I guess we'll find out, because in the time we haven't had a podcast is when they've been having just an insane kind of run. And hopefully that run does not end by us addressing it. But it's really nice to see fresh blood in the Eastern Conference playoffs, because it feels like it's been the same 8 to 10 teams in the playoff picture every single year. And Charlotte is a struggling organization with what seems to be a brutal culture and just a brutal culture problem. And even where they were at the beginning of the year, where LaMelo Ball is quote unquote requesting a trade, there's all this like stuff going on behind the scenes with them. To see them turn the corner and actually be in the playoff hunt is very exciting.
Yeah, and I wanted to get into this a little bit because this is part of the conversation. Obviously, Con Knippel's such a huge piece of that team, arguably the biggest piece on that team right now. Like, there's been a lot of conversation as to whether or not he should win Rookie of the Year over Cooper Flag, and I think the hype coming into the season on Cooper Flag obviously is going to propel him a little bit further than it maybe should. And so, like, who do you think should be taking home Rookie of the Year this year between the two of them? I think it's safe to say it's between the two of them right now. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've never wavered. I still think it's Cooper Flag. When you look at what he does on the court for the Mavericks, I mean, he's been the ball handler, he's their primary scorer, he's their primary playmaker, he's their defensive anchor. Con Knippel's the fourth option shooter. Well, his numbers don't say he's the fourth option, but if we're being honest, the way that they play, he's the guy that they can drive and kick to. He doesn't really have to create a lot of his own shots to say. He obviously creates some of his own shots. I'm not trying to say he doesn't do it at all, but when you look at it, I think that the reason that this is such a conversation is when you look at expectations, Cooper Flag is meeting expectations, which is all the way up here. Con is exceeding expectations, but he's still below Cooper Flag. I mean, let's not get it twisted here. Like Cooper Flag, if I said you get one player right now, who do you pick? Cooper Flag, Con Knippel.
Yeah, I'm taking Cooper Flag, but I think part of that conversation, like Rookie of the Year, is supposed to be that one singular year, not just potential based, right? And so if I'm building a team just for this year, there I feel like there's more of an argument there as to who you would take rather than like, oh, building for the future, who are you taking, Cooper Flag or Con Knippel?
Yeah, that's a fair point, but I'm just saying like the narrative surrounding them has to do with the expectations that they came into the season
Yeah.
with. Cooper Flag is right at where his expectation was, and which I think is a success for him, because exceeding those expectations would have been pretty insane. Obviously, there's not really a return on the wins, but when you look at that team is brutal, man. Like they have pretty much no one to help out Cooper Flag at this point. I mean, A. Disney's gone. They made a couple other moves, and of course, I'm blanking in the heat of the moment, but he's doing pretty much everything he can. He looks like a future star. And I'm not saying that Con Knippel doesn't look like a future star. He obviously looks like a future star. But I just don't think he's playing at the exact same level as Cooper Flag. And if he is because he has to do less.
But like, does the conversation of team success, do you think that should have any factor? Because obviously that has a factor in all-star selections, in the MVP voting. Do you think that should have any kind of factor in Rookie of the Year?
I would say that in any other award, yes, but in Rookie of the Year in a vacuum, no. I don't think we've ever considered team wins as a stat for Rookie of the Year, and to move that goalpost now, I would say it would be a little unfair. I think it's okay to recognize Con Knippel's impact on winning in Charlotte as a metric for his success of this season and the way that he's changed that team. But I don't think it'd be fair to hold that against Cooper Flag, because although they technically weren't the worst team when they got the first overall pick. I mean, they got the first overall pick because they missed the playoffs. And like looking at it now, they kind of are the worst team in the NBA. And they kind of did deserve to get that first overall pick considering everything that has happened.
Yeah, I've kind of debated with that too. Like, obviously, getting the first overall pick, you expect the number one pick to become the Rookie of the Year or whatever, like, because the expectation, like you said, on Cooper Flag is so high. And yeah, you're right. They're coming into a much worse situation. And so they're not really expected to win right away. And So I asked you that, like, kind of with my answer in mind being, I think maybe you take it into account a little bit, but it's not as important as something like MVP or another major award like that.
Six man of the year,
Yeah,
defensive player, those kind of things. It's hard to win
yeah,
defensive player if your team has the worst defensive rating.
yeah. Alex R is definitely not winning the defensive player of the year anytime soon.
Definitely not.
But let's touch on the rest of the standings because things have obviously shifted a decent amount since we last really talked about them. I think it's been a few episodes since we last did a standings check in here. Um, but as we mentioned, Charlotte into a play-in spot. The Atlanta Hawks are a play-in team. The Milwaukee Bucks are on the outside looking in the East. You've got the Raptors drop down out of that top six into the 7 seed as a play-in team as well. Just and then we didn't mention this, but Jason Tatum back with the Boston Celtics, the 2 seed. Like, what's kind of your outlook on the East right now?
I'm surprised to see the gap between 10 and 11 that's forming. Like, I thought that
Mm-hmm.
a motivated Giannis in his return would have more of an impact on that overall team, but he doesn't appear to be making any difference. Like, it's hard to tell when he's playing and when he's not if you're just looking at results. I'll be honest, we don't get a whole lot of Milwaukee Bucks games out here. You have to actually go seek them out, and I don't care to watch the 12th or 11th seeded Milwaukee Bucks on a Wednesday night when I could be writing a paper. So that's one thing. But like the other thing is with the Raptors, I would say it's a little bit expected too. Like they
Mm-hmm.
went on an absolute heater during the year, and I think that I might have even said this on the podcast. Like it's hard to sustain with such a young core who's never won before, and especially with some of the ways they're winning, like they weren't necessarily winning analytically. They were winning with like just they're hot. The team they're playing is not. They're hitting shots. The other team just happened to not be hitting shots that night. That's how some of their wins were. I'm not trying to like hate on the Raptors. I love the Raptors, but I mean, just looking at it from a realist perspective, that's kind of that attributed to a few of their wins on that run, which will attribute to any run, but it's hard to sustain that. And I think that they were playing way above where they should have been at, and now they're just kind of coming back down. I don't think they're going to win or move any mountains this year. I'm hoping that they can next year,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that this year is bonus for the Raptors. Next year is where the meat and potatoes are.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree with that. Let's shift over to the West here. OKC obviously still in that top spot, despite losing Shea Gilgeous-Alexander for an extended period amount of time. Obviously, he's back, and it's good to see SGA balling again. But I don't know, like this top six in the West just hasn't really shifted much at all. Like obviously the Nuggets at one point I think were in second. The Lakers have been in that top two, but this top six, as far as the 6 teams in it, have pretty much stayed the same. Do you expect that for the rest of the season here?
I actually think the Lakers could fall out of the top six, and I know I'm like an absolute hater of the Lakers, but if you just look at the way that they're playing, like when LeBron James is in the lineup, they're just a terrible team. Like he's super lazy. He doesn't want to run back past half. He's just out there going through the motions. Luca wants to just bicker nonstop with J.R. Smith, with J.J. Redick, and it's not good to watch. Like if I was a Lakers fan, I would be all right. Here comes another first round exit in 5 games. Like that's what I'd be thinking about. So it's not necessarily the most fun place to be if you were a Lakers fan, I'd say. But how dumb do the Sixers look for trading Jared McCain, man? Like, do
Mm-hmm.
you still think they sold high on Jared McCain like that? Like, I don't know how much you've seen of him because obviously I know that you've been busy over the last few weeks. Obviously, you have a baby, but like, dude, he is looking like obviously Steph Curry is a bit of a stretch, but the way that he's running around the court, the way that OKC has him moving, I'm like, he kind of looks like a less talented Steph Curry right now.
Yeah, I haven't been able to tune into a ton of OKC games. The thing with OKC is like I feel like I don't need to watch them because I just know how great they are. But I have been seeing a lot of clips online about about Jared McCain, and yeah, he looks great. And I we talked about that when OKC traded for him. We were like, this is a great buy low for the OKC Thunder.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't believe is it Daryl Morey still the Sixers GM?
Yeah, it was him who said they sold high on him.
Yeah, I can't believe you would say that. Like, what a boneheaded thing to say. Because,
I know.
like, what if he does this? Now you look like an absolute idiot. And he's just fit very seamlessly into that OKC roster. Like,
Hmm.
I'm not surprised because just the style of player he is. He feels like the kind of guy that any team in the league besides apparently the Sixers can find a role for. And he's like a shorter Con Knipple, honestly. Like when the way you watch him play, I just compared him to Steph Curry, but maybe Con Knipple's a better comparison. Like it's just I don't know. I like watching him succeed, and I think that he could play a huge piece, almost like a Jordan Poole esque piece, in 2022 on this OKC squad.
Yeah, you say like you're not surprised that he fit in. I honestly kind of am. Like I was a fan of the move just because I didn't think they paid very much for someone of that talent, but they're such a guard heavy team that I kind of wondered where he would fit in and how he could slot in and actually make an impact on each and every night for that team. Like I just pulled up their depth chart here. They've got SGA, Lou Dort, AJ Mitchell, Kaysen Wallace, Jared McCain, Isaiah Joe, Nikola Topic. Like Alex Caruso's listed as a small forward. He's kind of a guard as well. Like it's a very guard heavy team. So I didn't know exactly how that fit would work, but it's looking really good right now, like you said.
Yeah, I mean the fit is looking great. And can we just talk about Jalen Williams, like not J Dub, like J
Mhm.
Will, his performance against the Nuggets for a second. I mean, this guy had 29 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, 10 for 17 from the field, 7 for 11 from three. Like what? I never expected that. 2 blocks too.
I think that was that on the same, no, it was the day before Bam's 83
Yeah,
points.
yeah,
But I saw some graphic. It was like a bunch of crazy performances on that day that Bam dropped 83.
yeah.
And I feel like you
Campaign.
can fit, yeah. And I feel like you can fit that Jalen Williams performance kind of in that as well. Like March 9th and 10th was a crazy day for basketball. Just kind of random players putting up unbelievable stat lines.
Yeah, like J Will is not obviously he's not a scrub at basketball. Like I'm not trying to say that at all, but
Yeah.
is he a 7 for 11 in the NBA from three guy? I don't have him as that, but
No.
maybe I should.
No, and like I don't know. I never thought of Jalen Williams as like a really good 3 point shooter. Like he's shooting 36% this year on 4 attempts, which isn't bad, but 7 for 11. Like this is the thing that I talked to you about with Bam too. Like who's letting these guys take this many shots from deep? Like Bam had what, 22 3 point attempts?
Yeah, I mean he was chucking in the fourth quarter a bit, but he
Yeah,
started off
but
super hot. But since when is he allowed to take 22 3 point attempts in a
yeah,
game?
that's what I mean. Like just these random guys popping off. Who's letting them get up this many shots?
He was letting campaign shoot that many shots. I don't know, it's crazy, but it's interesting. I mean, we haven't even touched on the Spurs. Like the Spurs are still looking like a serious contender. This
Mhm.
playoffs is truly the first playoffs where going into it, I am not certain about who is probably going to win the league because I think
Yeah.
OKC can lose. I think the Spurs can beat OKC, and I would be surprised, but I also would be a little surprised if OKC beats the Spurs, and then coming out of the East, you go back. Jason Tatum's back now, so how does that change the picture? You got the Cavs who are looking better, James Harden now too. You got the Knicks who are going to be the Knicks. I mean, they're going to be scrappy and they're going to put up a good fight no matter what. Now the Celtics have entered that picture because Jalen Brown carried the weight while Jason Tatum was gone, and now he's back. And the Pistons, I haven't even talked about them, the Magic. Like this is looking like this could be one of the best playoffs that we've witnessed in a long time.
Yeah, I'm excited for the playoffs, and we've got some fun content plans as well. I guess I can just kind of drop it right now. We're going to be doing the game recaps after each and every finals game when the NBA finals comes around, and I'm just excited for that because obviously love tuning into playoff basketball. Like during the year, it's a lot more difficult to pay attention to each and every team, but then playoff time comes around and it's easier to be way more locked in and tapped into what's going on. So yeah,
It's
I'm
especially
really
easier with
excited.
this terrible Canucks team.
Yeah, for sure.
Ugh.
But let's shift over here. We've got Selection Sunday coming up this Sunday. What's the date on Sunday? Is it the 16th? 15th.
15th.
Yeah, Sunday the 15th, Selection Sunday for March Madness. It's our favorite time of the year. Um, yeah, I'm excited for this, but we're going to be doing like a full show kind of going over the brackets and everything like that on Sunday following the when the brackets get announced. But just to quickly kind of get into it here, like obviously Miami, Ohio. Let's start with them because they've been a huge talking point recently. They lost earlier today to the University of Massachusetts in their conference quarterfinal matchup. Their first loss of the season. A lot of people, even though they were undefeated heading into their conference tournament, a lot of people thought that they might be on the outside looking in despite their undefeated season. Do you think that this loss impacts whether or not they actually end up making the tournament?
I sure hope not, because it's a 68 team tournament and they lost one game all season in the playoffs. There's two things that I could see happening if they don't make the tournament. One, the NCAA is going to use this as a way to push for the 72 team bracket that they've been pushing for, which I do not want. Do not do that. Absolutely not. That'd be terrible. I still think 68 teams is a little bit much. I would be happy with just the 64. No one watches the first four anyway. You're not even getting that much extra money out of it. Second, I think that we could start to see bubble teams opt out of their conference championship. And that's a huge problem in football. It's the whole debate. Do we want to play in the conference championship or do we want to just let the committee pick us? It'll affect our seeding. Maybe we'll miss a tournament if we lose. You don't want that problem. You don't want that problem to carry over to basketball. Don't overthink it. They've lost one game all year. I don't care what the metrics say. They're not going to win the tournament anyway. So it doesn't really matter. If anything, all it will do is benefit you because people want to tune in to watch Miami of Ohio in the championship to see if they were legit. Dude, 32 games. Obviously, they're due for a speed bump.
Mm-hmm.
It's every team's Super Bowl. Every team wants to beat the undefeated. I want to see them play a legitimate team in March and see if they can go on a little bit of a Cinderella run, and I think it would be the best storyline of the year.
Yeah, I agree, and I think like giving them a 12 or a 13 seed at the tournament this year that could be for an entertaining matchup because some of the best Cinderella runs are from those 12 and 13 seeds.
Oh, yeah, like 100%. Like, of course, now that we're talking about it, I'll blank out completely on it, but it's it's the most like the 12, 13. Those are the seeds that you want to pick as your upsets every single time because the 4 or the
Yeah.
5 seed is always like a struggling Power 5 team that they kind of stumbled into March. They were hot earlier in the year, like a Purdue, and then they're stumbling. Like whoever Purdue is playing, I mean, I said this last year, I'll say it again. I'm Purdue truther, and the truth is Purdue sucks. I don't believe in Braden Smith, and I hope that we can watch Miami of Ohio play Purdue in the first round. I think that'd be an awesome game.
Braden Smith, I a couple weeks ago I redid my draft rankings. Braden Smith features as a first round prospect to me.
Isn't he like 25?
Yeah, yeah. Or maybe he was a second round guy. Let me check. I feel like
While you're
maybe he's the second round guy.
while you're on that topic, actually, while you're looking at that, I just want to say I heard someone say this. I can't remember if it was a talk show now or just like a normal TikTok, but someone said, it was a tweet, I think. Someone said, I have mixed feelings about this, by the way, but it said, if you want people to tune into the first four, put Auburn against Miami of Ohio in the first four. And I think that Miami of Ohio deserves a spot in the big dance just outright,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that that is true, and I would tune in to watch that game.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of watching the first four games, like I'll be honest. Like when it's the 16 seeds playing each other, I never watch that game.
Oh, me neither. Actually, that's not true. I watch it because I'm so excited for March, and I'll watch like 2 minutes, and I'll be like, "Yeah, never mind." Then I'll go do something else.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like I'll maybe have it on like in the background while I'm doing other things, like while I'm working or writing or something, but I'm not going to be locked in on those games. But yeah, I would definitely be more intrigued if it were a couple teams. Like I think can't remember who UCLA played when they went on that Cinderella run, but went starting in the first four. But I remember watching that one. Like if it's bigger teams, like I definitely watch those matchups. But yeah, when
Yeah,
it's just
I
like
just I tend to find that Arizona State seems to be in the first four every single year, and it might just be
mhm.
like a one-time thing, and for some reason I just associate them with the first four every time. But I think that they might even be due to be in the first four again this year. But I might have made that up.
Yeah, let me pull up the ESPN bracket prediction here, bracketology.
Yeah, I mean, while you're pulling that up, who do you got as your favorite right now?
See, here's the thing. I want to say Duke, but I also know from watching Duke every single year at in the tournament, they always choke. So I don't think I can pick Duke to be my favorite. I'm going to be a little bit boring. I'm going to go University of Arizona, the Wildcats. I feel like they always perform in the tournament. They play like they're the number two team in the country right now, and I just I watch them and I think they look really good. Obviously, they've got a good freshman, Pete, on their team, and yeah, they're I think they're coached really well, and Braden Burries as well. I should mention him. He's been like their best player this season. He's another guy that I have my rankings in front of me here. Like, so these are my February rankings. I think I did them early February, so it would have been a month ago now. I had him ranked 23. Like, he's a guy that I think could go in the lottery easily. He's been unbelievable. Um, hold on, what's going on here? Sorry, one sec.
No, you're
Yeah,
good. I mean, yeah, they look like a scary team. I wouldn't want to play them.
yeah, but yeah, he's just been so good this year for the University of Houston, like or University of Arizona. Man, I'm all over the place with my rankings right now. But yeah, I just think Arizona, they're coached well. They're always good defensively. I don't have their metrics in front of me, like their defensive metrics, but I know every year, like they're kind of the team that you don't want to match up with earlier on in the tournament, especially if you're a Cinderella team.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm a huge Ryan Hammer fan. I love watching his content and stuff, and University of Arizona is in the trapezoid of excellence, so that's a great pick. My pick is actually I'm going to go with Michigan. I think it's a little boring too, but I've been super high on them all year, and I don't necessarily watch them close. I'm more of a box score watcher when it comes to college basketball until like right around now. I'll start watching the conference tournaments and stuff. Actually, I saw someone in my class watching I can't. It was kind of far away. But I saw someone watching a conference tournament today, and I thought it was interesting. But Michigan also in the trapezoid of excellence. Other teams that, and the most recent one that I could find in the trapezoid of excellence: BYU, Louisville, Nebraska, Purdue, UConn, Illinois, and Michigan State. Do you think that Nebraska or not Nebraska? Was it Wisconsin? No, Nebraska. You think Nebraska can win a game this year in the tournament?
I mean, it all depends on matchups, but like they're the 11th ranked team um, in college basketball right now, um, according to the AP Top 25. So yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, it depends on the matchup, but like that's the thing. I'm trying to find bracketology here, but I can't. Can't find it on ESPN. Come on, ESPN, figure your brackets out here, please, so that I can pull this up. Let me find who they think Nebraska is going to be playing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they can do it. I mean, you're 11th. That means you're going to be right around the 3 seed line. You're going to play a 14 seed in the first round. If they can't do it, that'll be very disappointing in Nebraska, and they'll probably never win a game ever. But I think that they'll do it. They have this one guy who's really nasty, and I'll be fully transparent. I cannot remember his name, but I've heard a lot of good things about this Nebraska team this year. I always pick them too, so I'm scared. I always pick them to win in the first round because I forget every year. But this year I did not forget. I'm not going to pick them probably, and then they're going to win.
Okay, I found it. So right as of right now, ESPN has Nebraska as a 3 seed playing Wright State in the first round. So I think that's an automatic W for
Yeah,
Nebraska. But then the second round matchup would be against, according to this prediction, would be against either North Carolina or South Florida. I think if they come up against UNC, that's a much more difficult matchup for them.
yeah. Caleb Wilson is not playing in the tournament though, so that does bode a little
Yeah.
better for whoever can get them in the second round. I mean, obviously there's still a good team outside of him, but
Mhm.
it'll be. I wish he was playing. Let me just say that. But let me ask you this: who are you most excited to watch in this year's tournament? Because I have an answer.
I really want to see AJ Dabansta. I want to see if he can carry that BYU team. Like he's BYU's probably going to be in the 5 to 7 seed range. And so they're going to have a tough matchup right off the bat. And I want to see if he can do that. Obviously, they have Richie Saunders, who had a good tournament last year and is a very good player. But I think if AJ Dabansta can really propel that BYU team on a deeper run, like I think there's a very serious chance that he goes number one in the draft over Darren Peterson.
Yeah, that's totally fair. And I have BYU as my second most exciting, like team I'm most excited to watch. But my first most excited team,
I thought you said player.
LIU. No, team.
Oh, okay. Team. I didn't mean. I thought you were saying player. My bad.
No. That's okay. That's okay. Because I'm excited to watch the LIU Sharks, man. Like every year I fall victim to the Cinderella going into the tournament that has the most hype. High Point, Grand Canyon. This year,
Yeah.
LIU, and I'm falling victim again. They have a BC boy on their team, Max Fraser. He doesn't play a whole lot of minutes, but that's beside the point. I don't know. I don't know if you've seen any videos on them. Like they play in the super tiny gym. They have like 40 fans at every game, but obviously the fandomship grew as they had a little bit of success. They got the fins up, and I'm fired up to watch it. To be honest, I think this might be their first ever tournament appearance as well, especially as the rebranded LIU Sharks. So I don't know. I think they're going to be around a 15 seed, so maybe we could see a Max Abesmith type run from them. Oral
Yeah, I was
Roberts.
just gonna say they're projected to be 16 seed matching up against the University of Arizona.
Well, University of Arizona better watch out because we might see a 16-1 upset.
Who? Well, I guess you don't have this in front of you, but I'm just looking through ESPN's bracket prediction here. I'm trying to find like a team that I really think could go on a Cinderella run. And I don't know. I'm not really seeing a ton here. Like I'm looking like 12 seed and below. I'm not seeing a ton, but Utah Valley actually. Utah Valley has been a bit of a sleeper this year. I feel like they're projected to match up against Texas Tech, and I don't know why, but I just feel like Texas Tech always chokes too.
I think Utah Valley's been in the headlines enough this year. No, but
Maybe that's why
my
they're on my mind.
no, but to be honest, I did they pay the whack exit fee? Because I know that they were going to be disqualified from their tournament if they didn't pay that. And there's like a countersuit happening.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they ended up paying that. I saw that as well, but
Could you imagine how like that would be just the craziest thing if Utah Valley goes on a Cinderella run in the March Madness after everything that's happened on their campus this year? I mean, it's I remember it was like November, and there's a tweet that went viral. It was like, "There's a sniper on the Utah Valley campus," and I was they were naming some guy on the roster, but I was like, the tweet went viral. I was chuckling about it. I'm like, wow, but. I don't know. It would be fun to watch them go on a Cinderella run. I would love to see the storylines and memes that would come out of it.
yeah.
But
Well, I'm looking at the prediction right now, and so they would play Texas Tech according to this, and then their second round matchup would be St. John's or McNeese State. Like I feel like they could win either of those as well. And
yeah,
then on the other side, it's Vanderbilt, High Point, Virginia, and Hofstra. Like I don't know. I feel like if someone's gonna do it according to this ESPN bracket prediction, I think that could be the team to do it.
yeah. I mean, definitely. Like, there's definitely potential there, especially with that potential bracket. I don't see the committee making a region that like soft though. Like, you know what I mean? Where
Hmm.
there'll be some monster. There's so many monsters this year. There'll be definitely some
Yeah,
monster. I know Virginia is pretty good, but for a team like Utah Valley not to have to play, I mean, Texas Tech is obviously no easy pushover, but in a world where they beat Texas Tech, I don't think that there'll be a region where it's that easy to come out of. But yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to Sunday. I mean, I got a few assignments I got to get done so I can watch the Selection Sunday show. But other than that, I'll be making my 20 brackets and getting fired up. Maybe we can do a
yeah,
Horizon Media bracket challenge.
yeah. We should.
All the fans can
Um,
join.
we should get Rebecca and Leah on the show and get them to do a bracket with us.
I actually make Rebecca make a bracket every single year.
Yeah, I'd
And
make Leah make one too.
this year, she always beats me because she knows nothing and I overthink everything and she doesn't even know what the seeds mean. This year, she knows what the seeds mean though. But this year, I'm making her make her own account and join my bracket pool that I have every year because my friends make fun of me when I say that she finished higher than me. Well, now she's going to finish higher than all of them too. So
Especially David. David's coming dead last. I feel like he came dead last year too.
let me see if I can pull it up. I mean, obviously, we don't want this episode to string on for too much longer, but let me see if they can look at the history so we can poke some fun at David,
Yeah,
friend
I
of
don't
the
have the app
pod.
on my phone anymore.
I've got it. ESPN Tournament Challenge. Let's see if I can look at history here. Um, does not appear that I can look at history, which is very, very sad. Damn, that's so sad. I wanted to look at my old brackets too, but I guess that would be probably a lot of storage for ESPN to store.
Oh yeah,
But
I did well last year. I remember because I picked Florida to win.
yeah, I remember I knew that Florida was going to win, but I just didn't pick them because I was like, I hate picking the 1.1 seed. Like, it's so stupid.
Yeah.
And I should have just done it. I really should have. But man, that's so disappointing you can't look at history. I'd love to look at history. Oh well. David probably came last, and we can conclude that. David also thought that Jarrett Culver was going to be a superstar in the NBA. So
I'm not gonna lie, I really like Jarrett Culver too.
I remember we were sitting in my basement, actually, the room right beside us, when Jarrett Culver missed the game tying shot. You should have seen the look on his face.
But yeah, we should probably wrap it up. Is there anything else you wanted to get to here before we wrap?
No, just I'm really excited for March Madness. I'm really excited, guys. I'm really excited, and I'm really excited for March Madness. And yeah,
All right. Well, yeah, we'll be doing a show right after the brackets come out on Sunday, and then we'll be doing another just live us filling our live bracket out. It'll be a conjoined one. So
last
that's
year I did not do so well.
No, last year was terrible, but
This year will be better. This year we're getting
yeah,
$1 million from Warren Buffett.
we're back for redemption this year. So,
Yeah.
um,
The best is from Thursday or the Sunday to Thursday when you're like, this year I have the perfect bracket. And then
yeah.
2 games in, you have one perfect bracket left. 4 games in, you have zero.
What's the longest streak you've gone on? I went a day and a half with a perfect bracket 2 years ago.
I remember I got the first 2 games wrong, and then I got the rest of the first round right, and I was so pissed because I
Yeah,
literally got the first 2 games wrong, and then boom, 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 I rattled off a perfect second day, and then I had a perfect elite eight, and then I had zero Final Four teams.
oh,
It was heartbreaking. I was like, but my best I've ever done, women's bracket,
hmm.
Yukon, Paige Beckers. I got 3 games wrong on my entire bracket.
I think I've done that in the women's bracket too.
Autofill chalk. I made there be 2 first round exits, or upset, 1 second round upset, and I think I switched it to have Yukon go to the final and win it. And then that was the best bracket. I came like 669,000th in the world or something. Like there was like, I think there was like 10 million brackets. So whatever,
Yeah.
whatever, not a big deal.
Well, let's wrap it up there. We'll like I said, we'll be back on Sunday, so be sure to tune in for that. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Ball Don't Lie. Check out our socials, like this video, subscribe to our channel. We've hit 100 subscribers, so thank you guys for the support. But yeah, that'll do it for today's episode of Ball Don't Lie.